What's going on, everybody? Mortem here, this time bringing you a look at Strayed Lights, an upcoming indie title that will be releasing on April 25th. However, the developer via a PR company reached out and offered a demo showing off a little bit of what the game is about, which is of course how I'm bringing you this footage. But the game itself is an artistic action-adventure title, where we take on the role of a sort of stray light. Now, the actual story is somewhat, I would say, open to interpretation, but we play as a light sort of coming into the world and then growing before reacting to some darkness that it finds and start exploring the world, which is full of all sorts of other lights, some of which seem to be overcome with their own emotions, as the marketing put it, and we have to help bring balance to those situations, restoring these lights to what they were. And this is done with the rather interesting take on a combat system. Now, functionally speaking, combat is a system of parries, dodges, and attacks, as are most games, but the goal here is to parry or attack enough to absorb the light from your enemy, which sees us timing strategic color switches for our own light between red and blue, dodging out of the way of corrupted attacks, which are purple, and then weaving in some of our own attacks to also absorb light from the creature. Once this is full, we can perform a sort of finishing move that adds some flair to the end of the fight itself. But I would say the big thing to know here is this sort of parry system they've got going on. Parrying an attack period will of course block the incoming damage, but switching your color to match the enemy's color and parrying appropriately will both heal you as well as absorb light from that creature, thus filling the meter. Now, during various attack chains, the enemy will be switching color, which you have to follow and then time your parries appropriately, which is an easy enough system, but the way it's done here does leave a decent amount of room for some skill to be involved. But more than that, we also get some abilities. There wasn't too much on display here in the demo, but you'll be getting ability points and being able to, of course, allocate those to abilities that either stun the enemy or allow you to parry and absorb light regardless of what color you're in, and various little things like that. So this relatively fast-paced combat system combined with the rather striking visuals of the game are pretty interesting, but there is a sort of platforming aspect to the title. You'll be able to explore around a little bit, see the sights, but also collect some of the, lights scattered around through the world, and once you gain enough of those, this will give you a permanent buff to the light you are absorbing, either through parries or your own attacks, thus increasing your own strength in addition to the abilities. And at least as far as the demo goes, that's pretty much what we see on display here. So with this being an indie title, it looks like it will be relatively simple to learn, with a lot of it hinging on how much you enjoy the combat system in particular. So I think for me, when this game actually releases, I think a lot of it's going to come down to what the actual price winds up being, as what I experienced in the demo was pretty fun, combined with, again, the striking visual style, this somewhat mysterious world they've built, and it's certainly got some potential. What I don't know right now is what the price of this game is going to wind up being. That wasn't in the information they gave me, which means they probably haven't decided themselves yet. But based on what I've seen and what the game is aiming for, I think if it's somewhere in that $20 to $30 range, it could wind up being pretty interesting, with a lot of that hinging on how the combat evolves over the course of the game, and I imagine how much people actually enjoy the artistic style as well. But that's pretty much all I've got for you guys. I'll likely be reviewing this when it releases, as April itself is not terribly busy. But beyond that, I certainly hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how you feel about it down in the comment section below. But more than anything, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. May you wander in wisdom and have an amazing day.